All right, so let's go ahead and do the first one. All right, we're going to solve an equation by factoring. We did a little bit of this last week. All right, so plus minus would be plus minus, right? So it needs to multiply to, oops, that would be plus minus, not plus 1. Plus, and I do the same thing. It needs to be plus minus. Okay, and it needs to multiply to negative 30 and add up to positive 1. So it would be 6 times 5. And which one needs to be negative? The 5. Very good. So b minus 5, b plus 6. And then this is where you say b minus 5 equals 0, b plus 6 equals 0. And then to solve for b, add b? Add 5. And then to solve for b, minus 6. Very good. All right, so these were your two solutions. Not two solutions. Not factors are here. These are the factors. These are the solutions. All right? Let's go to number 2. All right, it needs to multiply to 27 and add up to 12. And plus plus would be plus plus. So 27 is 27 times 1 and 9 times 3. So it has to be 9 times 3. And 9 times 3 is 27, and 9 plus 3 would be 12, right? So in here, x equals what? Thank you. Thank you very much. And over here, x equals what? There you go. To solve for x, take away 9, right? To solve for x, take away 3. And we're doing it straight. Good job. Very good. Because if I don't have to write this, guess what? I'm not going to write it. Okay? And I think you can do this in your head. Yep, you got that right. Alright, so let's go to number 3. It needs to multiply to negative 7 and add up to 6. Alright, plus minus would be plus minus, so you're subtracting, right? Alright, which one needs to be, 7 is just 7 times 1, right? You're going to subtract it, but which one needs to be positive? The 7. So n plus 7, n minus 1. That would be negative 7, and then when you take away, it would be positive 6. When you multiply, is negative 7. When you take away, is positive 6. All right, n equals what? N equals what? 1. Very good. So how many solutions does this have? Really, 1? Only 1? Because I sure see 2, not 1. I see 2. Correct? What are they? Negative 7 and 1. Very good. Now, if this was a real life scenario and it was talking about length, the length of a side, would you pick negative 7 or would you pick 1? Thank you, because length are never what? Negatives. Anything that has to do with distance and time is never negative, okay? All right, so let's do the next one. Multiply to negative 99, add up to negative 2. Minus minus is plus minus. Does it matter the order? Plus minus or minus plus? No, thank you. So we don't need to be saying what? Because it really doesn't matter, does it? All right. So what do we got? 9 times 11. Very good. And which one needs to be positive or which one needs to be negative? The 11 needs to be negative. So minus 11 plus 9. When you multiply, that's negative 99. When you take away, that's negative 2. So n equals what? 11, and n equals negative 9. All right. Were you writing all the factors? We need to write all the factors down, correct? All right. All right, give me a number 1 through 4. How do we feel about this? Awesome. Very good. We're going to practice a little more, and then tomorrow we'll do more word problems. All right, paper people, my new paper people. Priscilla? All right. I need my extra help. Get up. One of my extra help. You You pass this one. Priscilla, hold on. All right. Shh. Extra ones, you staple them and you put them on the day, which is day 1. Priscilla can take care of it. She knows what to do with them. She's done that job before. So when you finish, give it to Priscilla. She'll take care of it. All right. So we've done a little bit of solving quadratics. We haven't really talked about how quadratics look. We're going to talk a little bit today about that. But let's go ahead and start factoring. It says solve quadratics equations by factoring. Solve each equation by factoring. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is make sure that it's equal to 0. When they're equal to 0, you can go ahead and start factoring. When they're not equal to 0, you need to make sure that they're equal to 0. So everything needs to be on the same side of the equal sign. And then it's always equal to 0. Okay, so what do you notice about number 1? So that it's equal to 0, so you can go ahead and start factoring, right? So how would you factor? Thank you. 100 points for your family. It's the differences of squares. Very good, which means one of them is a plus, the other one is a minus. And then you do what's the square root of a square? A. And what's the square root of 36? 6. Very good. So what are my solutions? A equals what? -6, and A equals 6. There you go. And you're done. How many solutions does that have? 2. Most definitely 2. All right. Equal to 0?
Yes.
Yes. Minus minus? So you're going to subtract, right? Why do I keep putting a 1? What is wrong? +1. All right. So n squared would be n and n. And then it needs to multiply to -4, -14, add up to -5. All right, and which one needs to be negative? The 7. So -7 plus 2. Yay? -14, when you take away -5. So n equals what? 7 and? All right, if this was length or time, which one would you pick? 7. If it says positive integers, would you pick the -2? Heck no. If it said negative integers, would you pick the 7? No, so you need to go back and always read that problem, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Equal to 0, correct? All right. So minus minus, plus minus, so we're going to subtract. So 2 is 2 and 2, and 2 is 2 and 2, so we don't 2 and 1. Oh my goodness. I guess I need more coffee. 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1. All right, so 2v is just 2v and then v, right? There's my other one. All right, so I needed to multiply to -2 and add up to -3. So 2 and 1. So if I multiply 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, that would subtract to a -3? So I don't think so. So what is it? 2 and 2. What would that be? 4. And then 1 and 1 is 1. And then when you take away, that would be what? 3. Which one needs to be negative? The 4, which means one of those two needs to be negative, right? So if I need to multiply the 2 and the 2, do they need to be in the same parentheses or different parentheses? Very good. So minus 2 and plus 1. All right, so what are my solutions? Take away 1. How do I solve for y over here? How do I solve for y on that one? Name me the steps to solve for y. Somebody said it? Subtract 1. Thank you, Rolando. And divide by 2. It's not just minus 1. Where's your 2? What are you going to do with your 2? All right, what about the second one? B equals what? 2. Very good. How many solutions does this have? 2. Very good. All right. It's equal to 0, so we're good to go, correct? All right, so let's factor. Minus plus? Minus minus. Very good. 2 would be 2x and x. So it needs to multiply to 2 and add up to negative 5. 2 and 2 and 1 and 1, and because we're adding, because both of them are negative, we're good to go, right? So if the 2 needs to be multiplied by the 2, same parentheses, different parentheses? Different. Very good. All right. So talk to me. Thank you, Laurenisha. That deserves 100 points because that was that quick. Thank you very much. You didn't even hesitate. You just told me 1/2. Add 1 and then divide by 2. All right. So what about here? Yep, you got it. Now that one's easy, so I'm not going to give you the dun, 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 dun. All right. All right. So let's do this now. Let's stop for a minute. Actually, let's do those two quick so we can finish this front, and then we're going to start graphing to see what they look like. All right, what's my first step over here? Add what? How do you know that you have to add 6? Very good. Very good, because it needs to be equal to 0. So I'm going to add 6, right? So x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals... Or you can just go ahead and move it to the other side, right? And when it moves to the other side, it should be an opposite of what it was, right? All right, minus plus? Minus minus. Look at your cheat sheet. If you're like me, you have to look at it. I don't know them. I just factor. All right? Which means, are you adding or subtracting? You're adding. How do you know that you're adding? Both of them are negative. Very good. Both of them are negative. So they need to multiply to 6. So that will be 6 times 1 and 2 times 3. But they need to add up to negative 5. So negative 2 and negative 3. Very good. All right, so what are my solutions? X equals 2 and x equals 3. Good job, babies. Okay, last one before we start discovering some stuff in the graph. We're going to start graphing and we're going to talk about it. What's the first step? Add 3a. Very good. And where do I put that 3a? After the a square. Good try, Virginia. All right. Plus plus is what? Plus plus. Very good. So it needs to multiply to 2, which is just 2 and 1. It needs to add up to 3. There's no brainer over here. So what are they? A plus 2 and a plus 1. Why negative? I heard somebody said negative 2. Okay. Well, we don't have to snitch. We just got to fix it, okay? All right. What are my solutions? All right. How many solutions does each one of these quadratic functions on this page have? 2. Dos. Virginia said dos. All right. All right. That's not Mexican. That's Spanish. All right. So let's go to the calculator. Clear your calculator. Let's graph the function. Let's graph the function. So I'm going to graph number 3. So if I want to graph the function, where do I go to? Really? You go to graph. You go straight to graph. Because I just went straight to graph. Do I see a graph? Thank you. Thank you very much. 2y equal to. Very good. And then I'm going to go ahead and write my function. What's my function? 2x, but we're not going to write down v, right? We're going to write down x. 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. And then we're going to graph. And there it is. All right? So this graph will always look like that. A V. But it's not called a V. Or a U. It's not called a U either. Does anybody know, by any chance, for 100 points, does anybody know what they're called for? No, quadratic is the function. Quadratic is the equation. Very good. Non-function. Is that not a function? It is a function. How do you know that it is a function? Excuse me, somebody's talking. The x's don't repeat. It passes the vertical line test. Thank you very much. We know that. Okay, so what can we call this? The what? The what? Take out your phone and Google it. Google it. Google it. Google it.
I got you.
Google it. Let's see. 100 points. 100 points.
Google what? Google what?
I don't know. You tell me. I want the name of that graph.
Name graph. What do
I'm not telling you. If I tell you, I give you the 100 points. Come on. Figure it out. I want the name of that graph.
I've searched it up many times and it came out like that.
No, that's the function. And yes, it is a function. But that has a name. That U has a name.
Quadratic function is one of the questions. Quadratic form is one of the form f of x equals a of x squared plus bx plus c, where a, b, and c are numbers with a not equal.
Yeah, but you're still not telling me what that calls. What is that called?
Something with an parabola.
Oh, there you go! It's called. She got it. She can Google it. What did you guys Google? Can you tell? Can you school everybody on what you Googled?
Everybody, look. I looked.
What is quadratic function?
Turn up. What is it?
She just told you. She read it. It's a function. It's a function in the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and its shape in the graph, it's called a parabola. You almost read it in Spanish. It's parabola. All right, parabola. All right, so it's like a goalie. A goalie, it stops the goals, right? It stops the ball. Very good. So it's spelled the same in English and Spanish, but it's called a parabola. Okay? So this is a parabola. That right there is a parabola. All right, so this is my function, right? I'm going to write my function. My function was, what was my function? 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. Okay, let's talk about the graph. What do you notice about the graph? It is a function. We already said that. What else do you notice? Does it open up or does it open down? This one opens up. Very good. This number over here tells you in which direction does it open. Stop talking. Thank you so much. Anthony, you should be looking at the board, right? Thank you. So this number tells you if it opens up or if it opens down. What do you notice about this number? It's positive. So if it opens down, what do you think it will happen to that number? It will be negative. Let's prove it. Let's go to y equal to. And over here, instead of positive 2x squared, we're going to write down negative 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. And let's graph both of them. Did the second one open down? Yes, it does. Very good. Very, very good. Yay? So when this number is positive, it opens up. When that number is a negative, it opens down. Very good. Are we good? Yes? All right. Let me tell you something. This number, let's make the window smaller. Let's go to window and change those negative 10s to negative 5s, and then those positive 10s to positive 5s. And let's graph it again so that we can clearly see it. Because it comes, the window is, there you go. And it's just beautiful. Look at that. There you go. All right, so this one was my positive with the positive 2, right? Opens up. This one is my negative with my, this one opens down with my negative 2. Yay? All right, if I tell you that this graph that opens up has a minimum and this graph that opens down has a maximum. All right, I'm going to go to y equal 2 and I'm going to clear that one. Don't clear yours. And look at mine. All right. Why do I say that this has a minimum? Is the what? Say it again. Is the lowest point. Very good. Can you see it? Yes? Yay? All right. So why do I say that this one has a maximum? Because that's the highest. So when it opens up, it has a minimum. When it opens down, it has a maximum. Okay? Now, go ahead and clear the second one so that we can only have the first one, the one that we were working on. What were the solutions for that one? Can you tell me the solutions for that one? X was what? Negative 1/2 and x equals 2. All right, can you find those in your graph? Can you find those in your graph? I didn't tell you to go to table. Let's follow instructions. Where are they? Where are they? It has a name. What are they? Say, they're like the what? I think I heard it. The origin? Is that the origin? So what are they called? The what? What are they called? They're called the zeros. What are the zeros? We study this. What are the zeros? The what? The x-intercept. 200 points for your family. Thank you very much, because they're the only ones that can remember zeros and x-intercepts. Very good. Because we learned that when we did functions. And we learned that when we did linear functions. These are my x-intercept. Which one is 0? Y or x? In my x-intercept, y is 0. Very good. And these are also called my zeros. So the solution for a quadratic are the zeros of the function, which are also called the x-intercept. All right? So you don't have to solve the quadratic to figure out what its solutions are. Now this one, I'll have to probably solve, right? Because it's a negative, it's a decimal. I don't know, it looks like it's 1/2, but I'm not sure, so I would definitely factor. But if that line would have gone straight to -1, I wouldn't even factor. My best bet is to always graph first to see if I can see it. And then if I cannot see it because it's between two whole numbers, then I will go and I would factor. Does that make sense? Because if that line would have gone all the way through -1, no, I'm not factoring. The solutions are -1 and +2. Can you see them or not? Yes, you can see the +2, and yes, you can see the -1. But in -1/2, but in here, because I'm not really sure, I will definitely go ahead and factor. All right? Now, another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. What's your y-intercept over here? What's my y-intercept? What is, oh my God, what is my y-intercept? Rolando? -2, thank you. Give your family 100 points. -2. How do you know that -2 is your y-intercept? Stop tuning me out, because this is things that we should have been able to say without even thinking about them. I don't need to go to the table. How do you know that that -2 is your y-intercept? Because my minimum is not that. Thank you. That's where it intersects your y-axis. 100 points for this family. Because I got one family that knows what y-intercept is. Where is it in your equation? Is the last number. Very good. Is the last number. So this first number tells me if it opens up or if it opens down. And then this is your y-intercept. And it makes sense because on y equals mx plus b, that plus b that it doesn't have an x, that's your y-intercept. And there it is. Okay? Now let's go to y equal to. And let's put x squared minus 3x minus 2. Now all I've done is change that number in front of the x. Would you expect to open up or open down? Up because it's positive. Very good. Will the y-intercept change? No, it's still negative 2. Let's graph it, but look what it happens now. What happened? It got wider. Very good. It stretched. And it stretched this way, right? Which, it's kind of the opposite because you would probably think that if it's 2x, it would be bigger than just x. But it's the opposite way in here. All right? We got it? All right. Let's do 7 and 8 on your own. Go. 7 and 8 on your own.